Hey, hi.
Great meeting you.
Great meeting you too.
You know, by the way, I'm a great fan of you.
Serious.
Yeah, I've been following your music and so forth.
Ah, awesome. Thank you very much. I'm a great fan of you. That's what sometimes I like to say that.
That's all good. That's all good. So anyway,
yeah.
welcome and
thank you very much. Thank you very much.
You have heard of this Tikambe program?
Yes, I mean in the recent past I have heard about what it's about. I won't say I know 100%, but I do know I have a very good idea of what it's about. Yeah, I think it's a great thing. I mean, just with the name of the show, Tikambe, you know already that it's about talking, and I feel like, you know, I'm married and so are you. So we both know that communication is very important, and that requires talking. So I feel like it's something that's obviously very important in society, that we are able to speak about anything, to not let anything bottle up inside, but to be able to communicate. So I already love the idea of Tikambe. Yeah.
Lovely. Anyway, my name is Kakua Musheke.
Yes.
And I work for the Ministry of Youth and Sports.
Awesome.
I'm actually a Senior Youth Development Officer there.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Yes, and I deal mostly with issues to do with young people. Yeah. Actually, I'm in the youth department, and I handle, part of the components that I handle is the aspects of sexual reproductive health. So wonderful. That's where my interest is.
I can imagine what kind of stories you you have to tell. I mean, just, you know, talking with all these, working with young people and being in sports and doing what you do, I'm sure you have a lot of encounters. Yeah.
Yes, we do. But then you also have a very interesting line of work. I mean, you do gospel music in a certain manner, which some people consider controversial, others consider very interesting.
Yeah.
And then you do meet a lot of situations. I'm sure, have you been in situations where you have to like advise young people, especially in line with the issues to do with sexual reproductive health, maybe? Yeah,
I mean, I would say for me, meeting people is something that is fundamental. When you perform, you obviously have to perform in front of people. It's a very public relation. So I do meet. I don't know how many messages on my WhatsApp, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram.
How do you handle it?
I don't. You know, I do. It's very difficult. So I try to handle as much as I can. But thankfully, I've got great people who help me out. I've got my wonderful wife. She's a writer, so she helps me out when she's got time with some of the issues to do with my social media, especially. I've got a wonderful team at Radio Cafe, who also Radio Cafe is the studio where I work. So they also very helpful, making sure that you know, I'm able to attend to different people and get things done. So it is very difficult, but obviously we can only do so much. Just one person, so there's only so many people I can attend to at the end of the day. Yeah.
Okay, so the issue here at Tikambe, you know, it's a kind of interactive process where emotions get to be evoked, and then you get to see a lot of things that are happening amongst young people and so forth. Yeah. So the idea now here is that we're going to have to watch a video.
Okay.
I have not watched the video.
All right.
Definitely you haven't watched it. So we need to look at this video, and after we see this video, we get to have our own reactions. And what we need to do maybe is, in reaction to this video, we need to see how best we could move forward.
Okay, sure.
So are you ready?
I'm not a huge fan of surprises, but let's see how this goes.
It's a surprise to me too.
Awesome.
So why don't we try this?
Yep, let's see.
Okay.
Let's see how that goes.
After writing my exams of grade 9, the results came out, so I went to a new school at Mount Makulu Secondary School. So I was a new boy there. I didn't have friends. As time goes on, I wanted to make myself to be with friends, because it was boring to be alone. So I met these guys. We are from the same compound, so we could go together home. In the first place, I never used to talk too much because I was just new, so they could hear their stories and they could talk stories about school. So I thought maybe they were the right team, but I didn't know that they didn't show me the right picture of themselves. So as time goes on, one day they came to my place. They picked me up that I should go and have fun. I didn't know that the fun which we are talking about, it was about drug abuse. I thought maybe it was just having a sweet moment. So the moment we got to that place, I discovered that those guys were drinking, and they are saying that I should try to taste. I tried to refuse, but they are saying that you're not a man, because how can you be pretending as if you're a girl? So just try a sip one. Even all these guys you have seen, they have tasted beer before, so you should try to taste beer also. So that's how I got the cup. I tasted the beer. It was spirits, and I didn't finish that cup. I was very much drunk, so they had to take me home. But I pretended at home that everything is well. I'd make sure that my parents should not discover that I was drunk. So as we were chatting, I just saw those guys, their girls would have come and they were enjoying themselves. So I was just alone seated, and they started again laughing at me. At that age of yours, you don't have a girl and you have never have a girl before. So I was wondering that, because I was very much scared that if I go to propose to someone, he might shout at me. So those guys had to encourage me, to comfort me that I should have a girl, but I refused. When I went home, I started thinking about it, and immediately when we knocked off from school, I had to say that, guys, I think it's a better idea, because I also have feelings, because I need to have someone by my side. But how am I going to go about that person? How am I going to start? Because I don't know how I'll start. I'm very much scared. She might shout at me. They say it's not a big problem. We are there for you. We are going to propose to the girl for you. Then all will be well. Okay, I agreed with them. That's how they went to the friend of his girl, and they had to propose to the friend, and she agreed. So as time goes on, those guys are saying that, did you have sex with that girl? I said that, no, I've never had sex before. It was something which is very strange to me, and I'm scared I can give someone pregnant, and my parents cannot allow such a thing. So they're saying that you're not a man, because if you're a real man, how can you be scared? So that's how we went. The moment I reached that girl, I was very much afraid to tell her that I can have sex with her, but I was not comfortable with that. I was thinking that if she says no, it would be an embarrassment to me. So yeah, it was just a moment of where I had to kiss her. That was my first time. But I tried by all means that I should have sex with her, but only to find out that that day she wasn't in the mood also. So as time goes on, I discovered that the performance at school is going down. At home, I've started going late. At that time, I was going early at home. I could study, I could do some other work and help mom. But immediately that I joined those guys, and life changed. So things are changed. So I had to start thinking. But I didn't find solution, because there's no one to encourage me, to comfort me. So I was thinking that these guys are the best ones. Even at school, I thought maybe I was a star, because I had plenty of girls starting from grade 8 up to date grade 10. At that time, each class I used to have 2. So I thought maybe I was star. I was well known throughout the whole school. Those are the guys. We even made the name of our team at 3MBs guys, where are the Mount Makuru boys? Whether we step, they would say that these are real men. But I didn't know that you're just wasting our time.
Well, there we go.
Very interesting, very interesting.
You know what's interesting about that?
Yeah.
Most of us want to fit in certain groups.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's not just the young people, I think.
Right. I think peer pressure is a really powerful thing. I could actually, the whole time when you was talking, I was just smiling and I was just thinking, that was me. Like, I think peer pressure just is such a powerful force that I've done some very foolish things myself. And I've seen my friends even, get worse and not even get out of it. And some friends of mine have even died, just starting from peer pressure. I know a lot of people, like even myself. I started drinking when I saw that all my friends were drinking. And I saw that, okay, the popular thing to do if you want to have confidence to talk to the girls and whatnot, is to have a few drinks. And so it started from, just drinking for confidence. I remember the taste of beer was very bitter. I never liked it. But, you have to do it because everyone's doing it. And you can't show that the alcohol is bitter. So you're just like, it's good. But meanwhile, in your mind, you're like, what am I drinking? You know what I mean? So it's very interesting to see how, so from that moment on, like maybe if you continue with that for a year, alcohol now becomes a part of you, even without peer pressure. Yes. And I know friends of mine who've been stuck in alcohol from high school into college, into life in society, marriage and everything, and they end up, and alcohol abuse destroys their liver, it kills them, does all sorts of things. So peer pressure, as powerful as it is, the direction it takes you is.
I love the part where he was talking about his transition. Once he gets into this group, he's now feeling like a star. Exactly. But now he's going late home. And his performance at school gets to dwindle because you are so much now in no longer your own world. You're into a world where you're trying to so much impress the other people. Yes. And of course, if you have got girls in grade 8 up to a certain grade, then you have to impress all these girls. And you need to give them enough time.
And it takes effort, yes.
And then, so you see the behavior pattern changing even at home.
Yeah. It's so, I right now as I'm having this conversation with you, I'm thinking, I wish there were words, because the truth is peer pressure is still there. It's a big thing. Yeah, it is. But, when you're at that age, I feel like there's nothing I remember when Friday hit, it's like I have to be in a club. Yes. And there was nothing anyone could tell me that was going to make sense and come to my mind and say, okay, look, it's not that important for me to be at the club. I wish there were words. I don't know, what words would you tell like a young person to say, okay, look, this whole business of you trying to, get all the girls, trying to drink all the alcohol, trying to abuse drugs, won't get you anywhere. But, these are words that young people hear all the time. Yes. But we choose not to change.
First time encounter sex. He has this situation where he's trying to do this sex thing because his friends have said he needs to do it. Yeah. He's got his fears of pregnancy. He's got his fears of. He talked about the pregnancy thing. At least that's what he was afraid of. Yeah. But then, how does that play amongst young people?
I mean, like I said, I relate very much to him. Yes. I remember first time I had sex when I was a teenager. Number one reason was obviously peer pressure.
I'm sure you know what I mean. Yes, you rushed.
I remember. Yes, exactly. And of course, what's even better is when it's a girl. If you say, okay, this girl is older than you. Yeah. So to the guys, when you tell your friends, oh guys, I slept with a chick who's older than me. To them, you are a superstar. You know what I mean? So But the thing, like, I remember the first time I had that the same sex. For me, honestly, it wasn't. I remember not enjoying it because it was very
academical.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was very. Yes, it wasn't a relaxed situation because obviously I had a lot in my mind. Okay, what if she gets pregnant? What if she's got HIV? My parents will kill me if they find out I'm doing this. You know, all these things going on in my mind. And now that I'm married, I understand. Like, okay, because you've got a free conscience. As a Christian, I know, like, okay, this is the right time to do it. Even so. And when everything's done right, sex is a good thing. I mean, I believe that's God created it to be a good thing. But I think anything done at the wrong time becomes a bad thing. So even though the sexual experience for me during my teenage years was a bad experience for me, when I would tell my friends, I would say, oh, it was the most awesome thing in the world, you know, and I wouldn't mention all the things that were going through my mind. I wouldn't mention that, oh, we didn't actually do it properly. But to my friends, they're thinking, oh, this guy is cool. He's done, you know what I mean? And so basically the whole thing of peer pressure, it's all based on lies. You know? It's all based on lies.
So you were then leading others also to believe that you were like, you were that superstar.
Yes.
He was saying they were the big guys at Mount Makuru.
Yeah.
So then this peer pressure, like you said, is based on fabricated kind of perception.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is.
So maybe on the part of the first encounters, is there a way that maybe young people could be told that there is need to be prepared for this?
There is need to be prepared. And especially, you know, being married, I really understand now, like, you know, you need to be prepared mentally. You need to understand what you're getting yourself into. Because this sex, first of all, you're not having it alone. You know, you're having it with someone who's also a human being. They've got their own issues. They have a whole life. So when you're willing to share something as powerful as sex, you need to be very sure. You need to be at a place where I definitely think it's only something that should be done by married people. Reason being, when you reach a stage when you're married, you're sure of yourself, you understand, you know what you're going to be doing in life, and therefore, because you know what you're going to be doing in life, you know that you're going to need to take care of the other person who you're going to marry, and sex is too big of a deal to just be thrown away like, oh, I'm trying to lose my virginity and quick get it done.
So the aspect of the linkage between alcohol and sex, there is a lot of that happening, I guess. Maybe from my perspective, I would say that a lot of young people who get into alcohol and drug abuse or any substance abuse, most of them find themselves to get into the aspect of venturing into sex. Maybe there is need for the young people to really look at their situation.
As a musician, what I like to inject into society is a positive peer pressure, where like the cool thing now is to do the right thing. You know, because that's what we were made for. We were made to do good. We were made to do the right thing. But unfortunately, we get polluted by the majority's opinion and whatnot. And the worst part about peer pressure is the older you get, the less, you know, you realize, like now when I look back at my life and I think, why on earth did I waste all that time? You know what I mean?
But
there's
also,
so much I would have done.
But also, you know, the access to information is a challenge. You know, if I'm being pressured to do this bad thing, I need to be looking at what is the alternative to this bad thing. So maybe we should also be thinking about other services to be provided for young people. Access. Was there a place where this young person could have gone, for example, to get this information? So I think now we do have what are called youth-friendly corners, where young people could actually go access information about, you go and talk to these equally young people. You talk about your experience and tell them, look, my friends are talking about me having to drink. You could actually even find friends there
Awesome.
where you could be able to interact with. So there is need, I think, for this information to be sent out there to say, so that young people know that it's not so much about that big, seemingly cool group that is passing around, showing off, and each day they're moving with different types of girls.
Yes.
So this information, even in schools now, it's available. You know, you could be able to go to a class. To a guidance teacher, you talk to them about issues to do with sexual reproductive health and your first time encounter about sex.
Yeah.
Okay, now maybe as maybe we end, what would you advise the young people? I mean, what would you advise Moses if he was to come here today and told you that he's just from attempting his first sexual encounter?
It's like I said, you know, for me, when I was watching him, all I could think of is the regret I had for not for wasting my time trying to pursue these other things, trying to. I know that I would have gotten even better grades if I decided to focus on school. But instead, I was busy trying to leave school to try and go get alcohol and whatnot. Thank goodness he's given me a talent and whatnot, and you know, things worked out fine. But this is not the story for everybody. There are a lot of people who went completely down, who have died. You know what I mean? And it's simple things like just, you know, not doing the right thing. Not I think we've got precious minds, we've got precious bodies, and we should treat our bodies with respect and say, okay, look, even though these people are saying, look, this is the way to go, let's do the right thing. Follow the right channel of how things should be done, and I think, you know, things will work out.
So then Moses then should be told to wait.
Wait
for the right time and be sure you're doing this for yourself. And like you said, the new cool is to be what?
Do the right thing. To do the right thing. To do the right thing. I feel that's the new cool we should bring out. And I think slowly society is starting to open up to that, to say, okay, look, you know, the richest people in the world are the smart ones, you know, the ones who invest in their minds and whatnot, and those are the cool people of today. So if you follow these people, you follow what they did to get to where they are, we should inject more of positive influence to be the peer pressure that people follow.
So I think for the young people, then they need to be prepared. There's a big world. Come on, after the school, the what? There's a big world ahead of them.
There is a huge world.
Let them focus on school. Let them focus on improving their life, and then venture into the various activities. But also, they need to accept who they are. Let them not follow so much about their friends and the people who seem to be cool. They're cool the way they are. So anyway, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
It's been awesome chatting with you. Thank you very much. Learned a lot even.
I'm going to be waiting for my album.
Yes. It will be. In fact, in the album, I talk a lot about peer pressure. I also had the opportunity to start writing a book. So basically, I talk a lot about my experiences, which is why I can relate to him so much, because basically the same structure of problems are the ones that I went through and which I have written about. But at the end of the day, I think we need to be brave enough to do the right thing.
That's cool. So thanks a lot.
Awesome. Thank you.
As for me to share this story to you, it has changed the way I was thinking, the way I used to live and interact with other people, because I didn't know how to interact with the people. But after sharing this story, it transformed my life into a better person than the way I was before.